So my name is Lydia Law. I am a former fitness competitor, or better known as a bodybuilder. I competed in bikini and figure competitions. And then also after doing that, I started my own personal training company and fitness apparel line. And then in addition to that, I also work full-time as a forensic toxicologist for our state crime lab. I got into weight training when I was about a senior in high school. And so when I went off to college, I continued lifting weights. So you meet friends in the gym, they see you all the time. And a young lady that also was equally passionate about working out. We would always work out together. And then one day she came to me and she said, you know what, we should do a competition. And I said, what type of competition? And she's like, one of those like bodybuilding, competitions. And she's like, I've never done one and I want to try it and I would like for you to try it with me. And I said, sure, why not?
I got into the bodybuilding arena because I saw my husband training quite a few ladies and seeing their transformations, and I said, oh, I would like to obtain that. So he started training me, and I did my first competition in 2013. Lydia knew my husband, and she approached him later on, about a year later, so that's how her and I became teammates and friends. She's tall and beautiful, and she already had a great physique. So when I first met her, I was like, oh wow, she's beautiful, super friendly, outgoing. So that allowed us to kind of bond with each other because we were going through similar training experiences and spending a lot of time with each other.
The first competition, the biggest thing was changing my diet. So although I was very active, I wasn't strict with my diet. I was a stereotypical college student, still eating pretty much what I wanted to eat. And so having to have a stricter diet was new to me. And actually that first show was pretty humbling because, he gave me the diet. I stuck with it about 80-90%. And, but then I felt like, oh, I could get away with this here and there. But like that first show, I didn't even place. So I realized I really have to stick with it and be strict about how I eat. When I started back competing, I was very disciplined. Whatever my trainer told me to eat, I stuck to it, tooth and nail. And that's hard because you have to eat on schedule. So my meals, I had to eat them. I had to get in 5 to 6 meals a day. I had to get them in spread out, 4 hours apart or 2 hours apart. Even at some points during the training, I had to eat every 2 hours, which is hard when you're working, you have a child, you have life, you want to hang out with your friends. That's not something I could really do when I was prepping for a show because I needed to make sure I stuck to my schedule. And then I'm also training 6 days a week, 2-a-days. So workouts in the morning, workouts in the evening. So just being depleted from all that and still trying to balance your everyday life, it's a lot. So social life kind of goes away during that time. So those were probably the biggest sacrifices. So after competing, my goal was to win, and so I did accomplish that. I competed under the amateur circuit and I won, overall in some competitions or top of my height class and other competitions. And so I did compete and qualify for what they call nationals, where you can go and compete for your pro card. So when I did that competition, I noticed that the physique that a lot of those women were carrying was not a physique that I felt was obtainable for me naturally, if that makes sense, meaning that I would have to do and take some things that would help enhance me more, and just morally that wasn't something I wanted to do. And so I felt like I had accomplished what I could accomplish at the amateur level, and I decided to take a step back, and I felt like the stage would be there for me when I was ready to come back. And so I'm not saying I'll never go back, but just taking a long break. So Wanna Be Fit, like I said, came about pretty much from me being in the gym all the time preparing for shows. I felt like I guess I was motivation for people, and my partner, Will, who is my significant other and my business partner, he came to me. He was equally passionate. He is a Navy veteran, and so fitness has also been part of his life that he kept with him when after he left the Navy. And so he said we should start a personal training company. And Wanna Be Fit was actually a name that he already had inspired. And so we partnered up, we got the LLC, and then we have just gone from there.
I just enjoyed working out with her and seeing her business grow. Sometimes I do her like arms, full body, and ab workouts. It makes me like enjoy working out more and getting better at exercising, I guess. And it helps me with my basketball too, because the more fit I am, the better I play.
I think if you are going to compete, you need to like focus in, be willing to sacrifice that time. Know that you might have to say no to some things. You might not be able to hang out with your friends like you normally do, or say no to some foods that you love to eat, but it's all worth it when you can really see what you can do when you transform your body in a different way and step out on that stage. And yeah, I just think, people should not be afraid to try something new. And because we only get one life. So my, motto is like, if you get a chance to try something, go for it. You never know, that could be a path that you never thought you would take before, because I know that's what happened with me.